How to live asthma-free naturally. I'm going to share with you 4 steps I took to become asthma-free 25 years ago. I'm Alan Warditz, a nutrition expert. I help people restore their health with nutrition and supplements so that they can live a better quality of life. So for 35 years, I've been trying everything for my asthma. I've tried the pump, I've tried expectorants, I've tried herbs, I did allergy tests, I did yoga, I took herbal teas, steroids, you name it, I tried it all. What used to happen is whenever I took an expectorant or the pump, I got relief. But when I stopped taking it, I would get an asthma attack. Another thing also that happened was I used to get asthma in humid climates. If I was in a dry climate for months, I would have no asthma. The moment I came into a humid climate, hot and humid, I would instantly get an asthma attack. So far, 25 years ago, I discovered a magic formula, which I've been using, and I have been asthma-free since that time onwards. I am not taking any of medications anymore. I am free, 25 years. So I found the exact formula, which I'm going to share with you. So there are 4 steps that I'm going to share with you. There are another 3 steps that I also share. If you've had emphysema, you've had bronchitis, TB, and you have COPD and your lungs have been damaged, there are other steps to take. But the most focus now is on asthma. So the first step I did was I found out how to clear my lungs of excess mucus. You find in asthma, sometimes your body builds up too much of mucus, especially under moments of stress or allergies. And the mucus acts as a plug. It plugs your lungs. So when your lungs are plugged, air doesn't move and you can't breathe in air and you can't remove air. So it's a problem. So you try and find different ways of using expectorants to remove the mucus. And there's medication that works, that takes the mucus out. But the moment you stop taking the medication, the mucus comes back. So basically it doesn't really solve the problem. So which means you are like doomed. You are on it for the rest of your life. And I was not happy with that. So how I discovered about this formulation is my son was 2 years old and he started to have asthma as well, and his lungs started to get clogged, and he went on to nebulizers. So I did not like it on a 2-year-old going on to nebulizers, and I felt I had to go and find something for this child and to help him become better. And this is where my quest for the discovery of the nutrients came about, and this is my start of my nutrition career 25 years ago. So what I discovered in the materials that I went to research, I found out that steroids, which is an anti-inflammatory, and also it helps with removing mucus, because I noticed when the child was taking the nebulizer and it was vaporizing the steroids, he had instant relief. And that sparked my interest to go and search, where does the body make steroids? Because steroids is a hormone. So a body makes hormones. So my quest was to dig further and say, where does the body make hormones? So the steroid hormones I've discovered are made by the adrenal glands. So the next question came about, if the adrenal glands make steroids, surely there's certain nutrients that the body needs to make the steroids. And in my discovery of reading books on nutrition, I discovered the secret. The secret was vitamin B5. When I discovered that the vitamin B5, and you notice that vitamin B5 in the B complex is normally 25 milligrams. You don't get high doses of B5. And you actually need a much higher dose of B5, pantothenic acid, to actually help remove mucus. Why you need a higher dose is because B5 is used for many other things. B5 is used primarily for stress. So if you're under heavy stress or you have a lot of stress, and when you're sick, your body's under stress, there is a stress response, and the body uses up all your B5. So when your B5 is used up, that's what happens when people are under stress. They get tired and exhausted and fatigued, because B5 is needed for energy. B5 is needed for burning glucose, and it's needed for burning fat. So when you're under stress and all your B5 has run out, that's why there's fatigue. You're tired. And B5 is needed for fat burning. So when that B5 is run out, and B5 is needed for steroids. So that's why when you're under stress, you can't remove the mucus. It's very sticky. So therefore, that's why the dosages of B5 is like 10 times the normal amounts that is available on the market. So when I went to dig. I went to the health shops, I went to the chemists, I went to find this formula, B5, vitamin C, omega-3, and the B complex. I put these together, I crushed them and I put them in a juice form and I gave it to the child. Within 2 days, the mucus came out. The mucus was getting less sticky. It was unsticking the mucus and it was easier to cough out. On the 3rd day, all the mucus was out and breathing was clear. The breathing was like easy. So, and by testing it, and I kept doing it, and my lungs have been clear ever since that time because I also took it. And that's how my asthma became free, because my body is no longer making mucus because it has enough of B5, C, omega-3 and B complex to make the steroids naturally. So you don't have to take a nebulizer and vaporize the steroids. The body makes its own steroids. And that was my aha moment. It was like, that was the eureka moment for me. And that's been like this for 25 years. And I've been sharing this formula with thousands of people, and I've helped thousands of people become asthma free just with this formula. And the beauty about this formula is steroids are also used for inflammation. So if you've got arthritis, you've got joint pains, if you've got bronchitis, all these things, all the itis needs steroids. So instead of using steroids from an external source, which is not healthy to the body, your body makes its own steroids. So I have found that people with joint issues were starting to get their inflammation dropping. With eczema, I've helped people get rid of their eczema within 3 months just with this formula, with steroids. So steroids has got a lot of functions in terms of inflammations and infections, and the asthma and the removing of the mucus, so you don't have blocked airwaves. So that's number one. Number two is there's the use of the pump. Why you use the pump? It's used for, it's called a bronchodilator. Your bronchs, your lungs are constricted. So it's a nervous reaction to your body. So when your nerves are constricted, you get spasms. In other words, the nerves are not able to freely relax and contract. It just stays contracted. And when that stays contracted, your lungs are now constricted. It's like almost it's choking you, and you like gasp for air. So I've experienced all of that. So the only thing you want is to like, how can you get air in? And you take the pump and you get instant relief. And it happens that if you've been gasping for air for a long time and you're waiting for the pump and you get the pump and suddenly there's this gush of air flowing into your blood, you can suddenly get a headache. So I've experienced all these things. So what the pump does is actually relaxes the nerves. There's a natural way of relaxing the nerves to reduce the spasms. It's calcium, magnesium, potassium in a soluble form. You have to have it in a soluble form, not in a tablet form. I have formulas to show you that how to make the calcium, magnesium, potassium in a soluble form so that your nerves relax and it can contract and relax naturally. It doesn't stay constricted. Number three is vitamin E. So if you're running out of oxygen and your body needs oxygen, vitamin E is also good for oxygen usage, or it prevents oxygen wastage. A good example of vitamin E is divers, people who dive underwater in the sea. They go scuba diving. Those that take vitamin E can stay a lot longer underwater because you're breathing the same amount of oxygen, but oxygen gets wasted. But when you have vitamin E, the oxygen actually is retained and it's utilized for energy production. So that's why scuba divers can stay longer underwater than normal when they take vitamin E. So there's a dosage of 800 IUs if your body is lacking oxygen or needs some more oxygen and with the asthma. Lastly, number four is vitamin A and D. Vitamin A and D helps to lubricate the lung passage, and it also improves your immune system. It builds up your immune system. So asthma is also related to immunity, because in asthma, when the lungs have got mucus, when the lungs can't relax, sometimes your lungs are also inflamed and you've got inflammation. So vitamin D. So this formulation here with vitamin D helps with inflammation. It helps with the immune system as well, because you need to have a proper lubrication of the lung passage with vitamin A and D to trap all the toxins and to trap all the viruses and germs that you are breathing in. That's what mucus does. It should not be overproduction of mucus, just enough for your lungs to be not too dry and not too wet. And that helps with that. Now, I said earlier, now you can clear your asthma with 1, 2, 3, 4. However, If you're a person who's had lung damage now, let's say excessive smoking, or you've been in environments or in industries where you've actually inhaled a lot of toxic fumes, and it has gone and damaged your lungs, and you need lung repair, there's a way of doing lung repair. So first, before you do the lung repair, you have to do the asthma formula, which I did, and then if you need the lung repair, there's another 3 steps you do. Which is number 5, is a copper peptide, GHKCU. It's a combination of amino acids which you get from proteins, glycine, histidine, and lysine, bonded with copper. That's got a property where it activates and switches on the fibroblasts. Fibroblasts are cells inside your lungs, and when you feed it with the right nutrients, especially nutrients that makes collagen, the fibroblast makes collagen and actually builds lung tissue. So it rebuilds lung tissue. So you've cleared the lungs here of mucus, and there's no nerves and vitamin E and all that. Now you can start repairing the lungs. So the fibroblasts, when you get older, the fibroblasts just switch off. And when you're young, the fibroblasts are active because your body regenerates cells all the time. So how does the body regenerate lung cells when you're young? Is through the fibroblasts. But as you get older, the copper peptide levels drop. So the fibroblast and copper peptide have a connection. So when you raise the copper peptide, the fibroblasts react and they respond and they start manufacturing. So how do you produce, what are the nutrients for production of collagen? Is lysine, proline, glycine, and vitamin C. It produces new collagen for the fibroblasts to make new lung tissue. So if you've had lung tissue damage, this is a workable way that has been working. So if you're on oxygen, if you do this one takes long. It's not a quick fix. It takes allow it to take about a year. And if you allow yourself to take a year, you get your lung regenerated, and hopefully you get off the oxygen. And I have enough cases which I can share with you where people have gotten off oxygen, and I've consulted with a lot of people, and I have enough testimonials to share with you that this is actually happening with my own clients as well. So 7 is infrared light therapy. It activates the cells under the skin to make copper peptide. So under your skin, there is other cells which can be energized by infrared, a very special light frequency. And the infrared also activates the cells to make copper peptide. So you can have copper peptide as supplement form. It comes in supplement form, in creams, or it comes in injection form. A bit cumbersome, but it's available. It's been available on the market. If you go research on the market, you'll find the GHK copper peptide on the market. Or you can take infrared light, also a little bit cumbersome. I can share with you another non-invasive, very high, very cutting-edge technology which actually produces those things. So for you to find out about that, subscribe to my channel and click on the link for my 30-minute free health consultation. I have a 30-minute free health consultation which I do on Zoom. There's a link below. Click on the link and let's make a time, and I shall meet with you. So if you've got asthma, we will cover that. If you've got emphysema, you've got COPD or TB which is affecting you, we will go over that as well. So there you go. How to live asthma free naturally. I am living proof of it, and I live it, and I can share with you. And this is the formulation that helps with becoming asthma free. Thank you for listening. If you know anybody who's got asthma or COPD, please share this information, because that will help them and give them a new lease on life. And as I said at the beginning, I help people restore their health with nutrition and supplements to live a better quality of life. So if your quality of life is not as good having asthma and having a COPD, I know asthma because I lived it. My quality of life is so much better. I breathe freely, and so can you if you follow that. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to meeting you should the need arise.